Tonight on the Northwestern News Report. Northwestern's quarter system, could it be on the brink of change? We have the latest details from the NU Task Force.
Northwestern students and Sodexo employees united to protest against what dining hall workers say is unfair treatment.
And a look behind the scenes at one of Northwestern's most popular transportation services and the difference that Safe Ride can make.
Those stories and more.
Straight ahead on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now.
Hello and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Maddie Coe.
And I'm Jesse Kirsch. Thanks for joining us. The Northwestern 2015 Faculty Task Force recently proposed a revised quarter system, which would begin and end the academic year 5 weeks earlier. The suggested 10-5-5-10 system splits winter quarter into 2 5-week sessions, with a homework-free winter break in between. NNN's Fallon Gallagher joins us live in the studio with more about the task force's suggestions. Fallon?
Thanks, Jesse. The task force is comprised of faculty and students here at Northwestern. They've been working since February 2015 to come up with a plan that they hope will enhance the student experience. The task force considered the increase in students using counseling and psychological services, as well as the difficulty for students to secure summer internships and jobs. They came with the plan, which mirrors the schedule of semester schools, with the school year starting in August and ending earlier than the current academic calendar. In order to reduce academic pressure, the revision also proposes a maximum 40-hour academic week and the choice of a pass-fail fall quarter. Provost Daniel Linzer emphasized the goal for improvement both inside and out of the classroom.
The goal is to have a better academic experience, better learning with lower stress and more flexibility in the opportunities for students. So for students to come out of Northwestern feeling and in reality having an experience that has given them the best appreciation for areas of study that they wanted to pursue, and to do so in a way that they had not just a powerful learning experience, but a safe, warm, welcoming, manageable experience.
The task force is also pushing to expand CAP's resources and institute more personalized academic advising. There's no word yet if the university will take the task force's advice, but Provost Linzer hopes to know by spring if the suggestions will be considered.
Thanks, Fallon. Students, faculty, and community members filled Alice Millar Chapel on Martin Luther King Jr. Day for a candlelight vigil honoring the life and legacy of the civil rights leader. NNN's Matt Zidane was there.
Joy?
Joy, joy, God's great joy.
And patience are both values Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lived out during his lifetime. Values which are still celebrated 48 years later on Northwestern's campus. Professor Nicholas Pierce spoke at the vigil. In his keynote address, Pierce drew from the words of President Obama.
As President Obama recently said, our collective future depends on our willingness to speak out and to stand up for others, especially the weak, especially the vulnerable.
Pierce also urged college students to use their education to make a positive change.
Education is a privilege. And as Jesus said, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required.
Pierce's words inspired Northwestern sophomore Amani Wilson.
I have a responsibility to essentially give back and make sure other people have those same opportunities that I did.
According to University Chaplain Tim Stevens, the candlelight vigil was important for a number of reasons.
I think to take a time to come together as a university community and reflect on what Dr. King taught us, what he experienced, and the leadership that he offered us and continues to inspire us that's just really an important thing to do.
Matt Dunn, Northwestern News Network.
A 10-day celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. on campus also included an appearance by South African Justice Edwin Cameron, a speech by civil rights activist Diane Nash, and performances by some of Northwestern's singing groups.
Now to some sad news that hits close to home at Northwestern. Chicago journalist and Medill alum Ann Swaney was killed earlier this month while on vacation in Belize. The 39-year-old was the executive producer of online operations at Chicago's ABC7, where she had worked since 1999 after graduating from the Medill School of Journalism in 1998. An investigation into the events surrounding Swaney's death is still ongoing.
Students showed solidarity with campus dining hall workers in an event Friday afternoon.
This event aimed to push the employees' management for a new contract. NNN's Kelly Norris has more.
Jesse and Maddie, many Northwestern dining staff and students gathered at the Arch on Friday for a march for fairer conditions.
What do we want? A raise! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? A raise!
Northwestern dining staff and students marched up Sheridan Road Friday to push for a raise, overtime, and to stop understaffing. The group walked from the Arch to Seabury Hall and waited to meet with Sudoku management.
Waiting for a few more people. There is coming more employees that they just clock out from work. So thank you for waiting and helping us.
Freshman Jamal Julian said the workers deserve a fair wage because of the care they give each student.
They care about me, or at least they make me feel at home. And that's what I appreciate about them. And I want to show them that I appreciate that by being here and supporting them.
Cheered on by students, the workers met with their supervisors outside to discuss their demands. The meeting between management and the NU dining staff didn't go as planned, but Chef Melvin Davis remains hopeful.
It hasn't got done yet, but we're hoping that, things will turn out in the next negotiation.
According to Davis, those next negotiations are scheduled for February 22nd. For Northwestern News Report, Kelly Norris.
Sodexo denied to comment on the conflict. We'll keep you updated on the story's latest.
3 university professors recently submitted a proposal to create an Asian American Studies major that could debut this fall. Professors Jian Yu, Natasha Sharma, and Shalini Shankar designed the proposal to expand upon the already existing minor. Currently, students who wish to pursue more than a minor in this department have to create their own major in the Weinberg School. This requires them to follow an individualized course of study with professors who agree to advise them. The proposal is the result of a decades-long movement sparked by a 23-day-long hunger strike in 1996. The strike was a response to then University President Henry Bienen's refusal to create such a major. Interest in the cause was reignited this past October when Weinberg senior Kevin Luong created a student petition that garnered 707 signatures.
Whatever is important to our students is what should be important to us, and we as scholars have already seen the importance of it and have contributed to it because we feel it's very worthwhile. And I think the fact that students are asking for it means that they too see the value of how it can enrich their education.
Since the proposal attracted no negative reactions, faculty members will vote at the next meeting to determine whether or not the major should be created.
Student life in Northwestern's residence halls is about to improve thanks to a new committee in the Residence Hall Association dedicated to the betterment of the on-campus housing experience for incoming freshmen. The Undergraduate Residential Experience Committee, a panel made up of students and faculty members, will oversee the progress of the betterment of student life in the residence halls.
The university has been thinking about retooling the way that it integrates freshmen into its community for a long time. That started a couple years ago with the development of its 10-year master housing plan. So part of that was to institute a tier living requirement to build a greater sense of community on campus, better residence halls to make people happier where they live, and I guess the final component is really, what do you do with all those new facilities and people you have on campus?
The committee will hold their initial meeting next week, the first of at least 8 meetings planned to occur by the end of the school year. And coming up, an in-depth look at a service some students take for granted.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
that. Ah, with our colors flying we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
I'm Bria Calpin with your 5-day weather forecast. Wednesday, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 31 and a low of 28. Thursday, there won't be quite as much sunlight as we'll see mostly cloudy skies, but that won't stop temperatures from rising to a high of 39 and a low of 25. Partly cloudy skies will bring in the weekend with a high of 36 and a low of 33 on Friday. You can put away your heavy winter coat for a day as partly cloudy skies and a nice high of 45 greets us on Saturday with a low of 33, and on Sunday, don't forget your raincoat for PM showers are expected with a high of 41 and a low of 32. I'm Bria Calpin, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast.
All right, thank you, Bria. The Washington Post recently ran an opinion piece written by Northwestern University's president, Morton Shapiro, on the paper's website, and the article picked up momentum on Northwestern students' Facebook pages.
Shapiro's January 15th piece endorsed creating safe spaces as a necessary first step to building an inclusive community. We know students have already been talking about this, so we wanted to get your thoughts on this topic in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
Safe spaces are necessary on this campus and on all college campuses across the nation so that I can feel comfortable learning and I can do the best that I want to do.
Inclusion is important because it's important to have all different perspectives represented on campus, and it's important to make sure that everybody's voices are heard. And so spaces like the Black House or like Hillel give students a chance to voice their opinions in places that they know they're not going to be shut down.
I think the really important distinction to make here is that diversity and inclusion are not the same things. I think while inclusion can foster diversity, I don't think being diverse automatically means an environment is inclusive.
Well, inclusion makes people feel more welcome on campus, and it makes campus more inviting for all different kinds of people.
If you have a suggestion for next week's Rock Talk topic, tweet at us at @NNN_news.
College students love free stuff, right? Well, now Wildcats can take advantage of a Chicago cultural landmark, you guessed it, for free. The Museum of Contemporary Art Chicago now offers free admission for Northwestern students, and all they have to do is show their wild card. The museum is conveniently located right across the street from NU's Chicago campus.
Northwestern hosted its first annual January Jamboree Sunday afternoon in Norris, complete with free food, fun, and the revival of a Northwestern tradition. January Jamboree, sponsored by Deering Days and Relay for Life, featured free ice skating, arcade games, and even horse-drawn wagon rides at the Norris University Center. An estimated 300 people attended the event that also included food such as an ice cream sundae bar, soup, and macaroni and cheese. Attendees who donated $1 to Relay for Life received a free Jam Jam mug. Gabriella Sandoval, the co-president of Deering Days, said that the event aimed to bring back a once popular Northwestern tradition, the Winter Carnival, while also lifting the spirits of NU students.
Winter is kind of a rough quarter for everybody, and we wanted to give everyone just a day of really fun, free things to do in Norris.
If you missed out on the fun last weekend, don't worry. Deering Days will be hosting a similar event in the spring.
If you're trying to get to the January Jamboree or anywhere else on Northwestern's campus, you probably wouldn't think twice during the day.
But at night, it's a different story. Northwestern University has worked to make things safer on and off campus for its students, but these efforts may come up short.
I had the opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes look at some of these efforts and the difference they can make. With winter upon us, daylight fades fast, and so can confidence.
I'm very much a baby when it turns nighttime. I don't like walking home alone.
Madison Smith doesn't think twice before being cautious. The Northwestern junior will even call friends up to escort her home if she's out late.
She'll start texting me around 12:30, kind of just fun things like, hey, what are you up to? And then about 20 minutes later, she'll kind of sneak in the, hey, can you come pick me up now?
Northwestern University realizes some students may be on edge, and at emergency blue light stations across campus, someone sensing danger can have university police on the scene in minutes. There are also buses shuttling students up and down campus in the evenings. And to top it off, NUPD regularly patrols on and off campus. But sometimes that is less than welcome.
Some people may say, well, you know, you're just out there to be the no fun police, but that's really not our major priority. That's making sure that when you are living off campus and walking to and from campus, that you're safe.
Dan McAleer is Deputy Chief of the Northwestern University Police Force. The 34-year veteran officer explains that sometimes we just never feel completely safe.
We don't like walking alone at night, and we're not always comfortable with that.
That's where Northwestern Safe Ride drivers, like Jordan Villanueva, have been making a difference. Not feeling safe, maybe a little tired, and here in Evanston, hey, you might even be cold. Well, Safe Ride will take students anywhere on campus to an off-campus location, and it's as easy as just a click away. On their phones, students plug in a pickup location, a destination, and Safe Ride sends someone along.
I think that a lot of people feel a lot more comfortable with getting around the area with Safe Ride.
Running from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. daily, the service helps people do everything from getting to the gym to avoiding dark streets. And on weekends, it can be even more.
This is a topic that, like, administration, everything, they try and ignore, but like, there are a lot of instances where people are just simply too drunk to get themselves home safely, and that's another thing that Safe Ride's great for.
Many students seem to use it as a quick alternative to walking.
Especially now that I'm living off campus, it's really nice to just like get back and forth, especially late at night when it's getting colder.
But by using Safe Ride often, these students keep the average wait time around 35 to 40 minutes, making it harder for cautious students like Smith to get a ride.
I've been told my ride is too short or my ride is canceled, and it's just very frustrating when you're trying to get home at like 1 in the morning and now you're out of options.
We give 3 minutes after the posted ETA for them to show up, and if they aren't here at that point, then we mark them as a no-show and we drive away. In an ideal world, we would have 7 drivers on the road at all times. We're a little understaffed right now because people haven't been applying, so we have fewer drivers. Just inherently means the wait times will be a little higher.
Some don't hesitate to call a car service if Safe Ride is moving too slow.
So you're not afraid to pull the Uber trigger if you need to?
No, not afraid at all.
But not Smith.
You shouldn't have to pay when we have a free service on campus, so obviously there's a disconnect with the needs of the students and the service provided.
And the program does seem to help. Northwestern's Security and Fire Safety Report last year shows that over the past few years, there have been no incidents of forcible sexual offense like rape and sexual assault on the perimeter of the Evanston campus. And although there have been some incidents on campus, it appears that the school's current deterrents are having an impact on the surrounding community worth building up.
Up next on the Northwestern News Report, NNN's Jamie Leventhal takes a closer look at an unlikely environmental hazard.
At Northwestern, we're wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
It's a common substance in beauty products, yet it might be bad for the environment. I'm talking about microbeads, which have been under fire. NNN's Jamie Leventhal investigated microbeads and their impact. Jamie?
Thanks, Jesse. After just 9 months in Congress, the Microbead-Free Waters Act of 2015 was passed on December 28th and signed into law by President Obama 10 days later. This law effectively bans production, distribution, and sale of certain microbeads throughout the United States. I talked with scientists and experts about the environmental impacts of microbeads to find out why they say this new law is so important.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. American consumers may not realize it, but a lot of the products we use contain harmful plastics. Since 2004, scientists have been concerned over the sudden emergence of this pollution in the Great Lakes, specifically from tiny plastic microbeads.
Microbeads are
particles, plastic particles that are typically included in personal care products like face scrub, body wash, toothpaste, and they're primarily to help sort of exfoliate and cleanse.
Although scientists don't know much about the effects of these microbeads on the environment, there are some potentially big threats to wildlife.
We find that they actually can become trapped, especially in fish, in the digestive system. So the plastic is still there in some of these fish and doesn't seem to be able to move through their digestive system.
They concentrate contaminants. If an animal ingests the particle, then the contaminants become mobilized inside the organisms, and then they can get exposed to contaminants at higher levels than would be in the natural environment.
According to Holine, pollutants in the water attach themselves to surfaces of the microbeads. Microbeads can resemble fish eggs, and if they are eaten by wildlife, these animals will take in higher levels of toxins than normal. But this isn't just a problem for animals. The effects of microbeads can move up through the food chain and affect humans as well.
If these microbeads are in an aquatic system, then they can work their way up food webs into the fish that we consume.
Some environmentally savvy consumers realized the detrimental effects of these plastic pellets a few years ago and pressured manufacturers and state governments to ban microbeads. Some major corporations have been slowly phasing out microbeads, and several states have banned them before the federal law's passage. Illinois Senator Mark Kirk sponsored the bill and said it was needed to, quote, protect the Great Lakes from sewage dumping, microbeads, and other environmental threats.
You have to ask yourself, is the use of microbeads somewhat frivolous? Do they impart something to a commercial product that is so essential that it's worth this potential cost to ecological integrity?
Microbeads started showing up in products about 15 years ago, and their environmental effects could prove to be a big problem down the road.
Once they get into the environment, there's virtually no way to capture them.
There are over 80,000 chemicals that are in common use, and only of an incredibly small fraction do we have health data on. We tend to say, show us there's harm, rather than saying, show us it's safe.
This law will be a big relief to scientists and advocate groups who have been working for over a decade to take plastic microbeads out of products. As for the future of your face washes, companies have been experimenting with natural alternatives to the plastics like salt or cocoa beans. These are just some small changes with a big impact. This has been Jamie Leventhal with the Northwestern News Network.
Coming up, we'll see what the Cats have been up to this week. Sports is up next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Welcome back. Northwestern sports were in action this past week as both the swimming and diving teams and the women's basketball team were home for their contests.
Justin Nam joins us with more on the Cats. So Justin, was Northwestern able to find any good fortune this weekend?
Well, although NU had an opportunity to take advantage of some home cooking, the teams will look back at this homestand and regret not taking more than they did. The swimming and diving teams were in a conference battle against the Iowa Hawkeyes last weekend. Starting with the men, Big Ten Conference Freshman of the Week, Carter Page placed first in the 1,000 free and 500 freestyle competitions. Unfortunately, this performance was not enough for Northwestern as they fell to the Hawkeyes 174.5 to 125.5. The women's team had more success as they defeated Iowa 190 to 109. Freshman diver Olivia Rosendal's 3-meter dive broke the Norris Aquatics Center pool record with a score of 317.63. Now the meet was stopped when an Iowa diver accidentally hit her head on the board during her dive. She was able to swim back to the pool edge under her own power, and coaches say she will be back to full health soon. The Northwestern women's basketball team was also back in action Sunday night at Welsh Ryan Arena as they played host to the Indiana Hoosiers. Now early on in this one, Nia Coffey was on fire, doing her best, well, Nia Coffey impersonation. Here, she scores a 15-footer to give the Cats a 20-18 lead. She would finish with 29 points and 11 rebounds. Ashley Deary also put on a strong performance with 28 points and 10 assists. She pushes the Wildcat lead to 57-52 late in the third quarter with this transition bucket. Now, unfortunately for the Cats, the fourth quarter was all Hoosiers, as they would outscore Northwestern 33-19 in the final period, taking home a 91-84 victory. With that loss, Northwestern finds themselves with an overall record of 13-7 and 2-6 in the Big Ten. That's good for 12th in the conference. Now they'll look to bounce back on Thursday as they travel to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes.
All right, thanks, Justin. Be sure to tune into Sports Night on Thursday at 7 Central for more. And coming up, get a behind-the-scenes look at the Dolphin Show.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
The beginning of winter quarter marked the start of IFC and PHA formal recruitment. NNN's Nikki Bankowski looked at how this year's formal recruitment shaped up.
IFC and PHA recruitment is now over, and Greek life is bustling with all of its new members. This year, about 1,000 Northwestern students registered for formal recruitment, including those who weren't initially sure if Greek life was for them.
At first, I was kind of testing the waters. I really didn't think that Greek life was right for me, but started showing up to events, meeting some people, and I thought, hey, this might be fun for me, so.
IFC's formal recruitment began the Monday after winter break, a day earlier than they have in the past. By the end of the week, IFC offered 15 more bids than last year. This was also the first year that each PHA chapter had an active diversity and inclusion chair. However, PHA offered 14 fewer bids in comparison to last year. IFC's recruitment process consists of weekly Sunday night dinners throughout fall quarter to help pledges get to know the brothers and fraternities. PHA's recruitment differs in that potential new members are not allowed to enter the houses until the week of recruitment.
Within IFC, it fits very well that we do the whole very full fall process, very casual, with Sunday dinners and just random events throughout the fall. So I think that works well for us. I don't think it would necessarily translate well to PHA, so I think what they do works for them.
From Evanston, Nicole Bankowski, Northwestern News Network.
In total, PHA and IFC handed out 843 bids this year. That's fewer than last year, but still a successful recruitment for both councils.
The largest student-produced musical in America is back with Gypsy. NNN's Michelle Beck spoke to the Dolphin Show team.
This weekend, the 74th annual Dolphin Show opened its production of Gypsy, a musical featuring striptease artist Gypsy Rose Lee and her showbiz mother in their journey to perform on stage. Director Aaron Simon Gross, a senior in the School of Communication, is pleased with how the performances have gone thus far.
What ended up being most powerful about the experience for me was, of course, working with the designers on the scale was thrilling, and especially this team of designers is brilliant. But in terms of just how much it does just feel like, oh my God, we're doing a play and telling a story together.
Gypsy, originally performed on Broadway in 1959, has been produced 3 other times in Dolphin Show history. According to artistic producer Brandon Nadig, a senior in the School of Communication, there is a reason Gypsy is a returning favorite.
We also really liked how the show parallels, we think, and some experiences that college students might be going through right now. That whole idea of like, who do you become when you are liberated from your past rules and past restrictions.
The Dolphin Show, a long-standing Northwestern tradition, began in 1939 when Northwestern undergraduates put on a variety show to raise money for the swim team. Since then, the show has grown from the pool to the stage and transformed into a full-length musical produced by students from all schools.
I think Dolphin's great because it brings people together from all different sectors of Northwestern. There are people from CESB, I think we have some Medill people on the business team in Weinberg, and School of Communication people, so it's really great.
Over the years, the Dolphin Show established a connection with the audience, from returning alumni to members of the community.
And it's just been really amazing to get to be a part of something that means so much to so many people and see people really put all of their love and their talent into it, no matter what side of the table they're on.
You can catch this year's Dolphin Show, Gypsy, for its final 2 performances here at Conn Auditorium Friday and Saturday.
Michelle Beck and Meredith Sonnefeld, Northwestern News Network.
And that's all for this edition of the Northwestern News Report.
I'm Maddie Coe.
I'm Justin Dom for sports.
And I'm Jesse Kirsch. Thanks for watching. Go out and make it a good one.